Chapter 81 Meeting Dugu Bo and Tang 3 again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 81, Another Run-In with Dugu Bo and Tang San. Once a day is still a huge deal, Shui Yuer teased, sis, you're gonna be like one of those unkillable weeds now. Shui Binger rolled her eyes at her sister, then said, having a full health resurrection ability isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card. Didn't that soul beast just get a full heal? Didn't stop your brother-in-law from taking it down. Shui Yuer countered, brother-in-law's a freak of nature. I'm talking about facing normal people. Even if you burn through your energy, you'll still be able to finish them off. In Shui Yuer's mind, Chowda was a one-in-a-million exception, someone you couldn't compare to, or you'd just get frustrated. Chowda chimed in, it's great to get a powerful new soul skill, but what really matters is your overall strength. Shui Binger nodded. Got it. Shui Yuer then asked, we know about the fourth soul skill, but what about the soul bone skill? Anything cool? Shui Binger conjured an ice sword in her hand. Ice sword. That's my soul bone skill. It's infused with powerful ice energy. Great for close quarters combat, and you can also use it at long range, slashing with a serious freezing effect. The ice sword was sharp, powerful, and packed Shui Binger's ice attribute power. It could freeze things solid and be used for both offense and defense. Right now, it was Shui Binger's most potent attack. Sounds intense. Let me try it out. Shui Yuer struck a pose, summoned her dolphin spirit, and released her 3 soul rings, ready for a spar. Alright, but watch yourself. Shui Binger didn't back down. Chowda stood back, keeping an eye on things. Shui Binger, gripping the ice sword, channeled its ice energy, quickly freezing the surrounding area, the effect spreading outward. Water bomb attack. Shui Yuer launched a water bomb at Shui Binger. Shui Binger slashed with her ice sword, the blade of light instantly freezing the water bomb. Sis, your ice powers are too strong. You've got me beat. Shui Yuer looked helpless, her water attribute was at a disadvantage against ice. Heads up. Shui Binger spread her snow-white wings, took to the air, and swung the ice sword, sending out a wave of icy energy. Flying's cheating. I quit. Shui Yuer surrendered, knowing she couldn't win. Humph, now you know how awesome your sister is. Shui Binger landed. Chowda remarked, Yuer's attacking spirit skills aren't her strong suit. We should focus on that when we're looking for spirit rings in the future. Shui Yuer grumbled, my spirit rings are weaker than my sister's. If only I had a 10,000-year 4th spirit ring too. Then she turned to Shui Binger. Sis, is it expensive to maintain that Phoenix Nirvana state of your 4th soul skill? Logically, a stronger soul skill should drain more energy and be harder to sustain, Shui Binger explained, being in the 4th soul skill state doesn't take much out of me. It's only the fighting that does. If I don't fight, I can stay like this indefinitely, and my spirit power will slowly recover. As long as I have enough spirit power, I can maintain it. Chowda and Shui Yuer were surprised. Was Shui Binger saying she could keep the 4th soul ability active all the time? That was unusual, but there were limitations. Shui Binger continued, if I stay in this state for over a day, I won't be able to use the 4th spirit ability again for a while. There has to be a day between uses. Keeping this state active might affect when I can use it again. That made more sense. Maintaining the 4th soul ability meant she couldn't immediately use it again, so, to keep that option open, she should avoid staying in that state constantly. Of course, Shui Binger in that state was a sight to behold, an angelic beauty. Shui Yuer grinned. Sis, you look even more gorgeous like this. With brother-in-law around, you can stay like that forever. He'll love it, right, brother-in-law? Chowda gave Shui Binger a once-over and said seriously, Binger, you look like an angel who's fallen from heaven. Pure and stunning. Really? Shui Binger was happy, deciding to stay in that state while Chowda was around. Shui Yuer joked, brother-in-law, you're so lucky. 2 sisters with different personalities and different kinds of beauty, it's like marrying 2 wives at once. You're hitting the jackpot. Chowda laughed. Yeah, this is a pretty nice surprise, Shui Binger blushed. You guys are teasing me. They couldn't eat any more breakfast. They packed up and headed out. I can fly too, Shui Binger took to the sky with Shui Yuer. Chowda activated his fifth soul skill, walking through the air, which allowed him to move and fly freely. Brother-in-law, I'm so jealous of your soul skills. You can fly wherever you want. Shui Yuer was impressed. She listed off, you've got pressure, space jumps, space binds, blade walking. Brother-in-law, you've shown off 5 soul skills already. What do the other 3 do? I'm dying to know. Chowda smiled. You'll find out eventually. Gotta keep some mystery. Shui Binger added, you don't have to tell us everything. Keeping it mysterious makes it more fun. Shui Yuer muttered, sis, you're totally defending brother-in-law. Up ahead, a flying spirit beast approached. The sisters weren't worried. Chowda froze the creature in mid-air, then the 3 of them casually strolled right over its head, leaving the spirit beast terrified. Luckily, it was released soon after, but it was spooked. It turned tail and ran. Being controlled like that was terrifying. It never wanted to experience that again. In the afternoon, they arrived at the southern edge of Sunset Forest. This area mostly had century-old spirit beasts, posing no threat to them, so they dismounted and walked. Well, if it isn't you, kid, they ran into Dugu and Tang San, standing next to him. Senior Poison Douluo. Chowda greeted him politely. Shui Binger and Shui Yuer were more on edge, knowing Dugu was a title Douluo. They felt they should show him respect. Heh, Chowda, I remember you. I missed you last time, didn't expect you to be such a monster. Dugu had seen some information about Chowda from the court, and Chowda's soul ring information had left him stunned. Tang San looked at Chowda, surprised to see him here. Tang San was here to gather materials from Dugu ice fire yin yang well garden, preparing a cure for Dugu poison. At Tiando Imperial Academy, he was sure to meet Dugu Yen, and then Dugu Tang San planned to help Dugu and Dugu Yen deal with their poison, hoping to earn Dugu favor. Chapter 82 Fighting with the title Douluo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Dugu words, Chowda figured the guy probably knew something about him, maybe from the court, or even from Tang San and his crew, but Chowda wasn't sweating it. He'd already shown his hand, so he wasn't about to start playing shy. Senior Poison Douluo, you're pulling my leg. Compared to you, I'm just a pipsqueak. He glanced at Tang San, throwing back Tang San's own pipsqueak nickname. A pipsqueak, huh? You're underselling yourself big time. Dugu locked eyes with Chowda, like he was trying to x-ray the guy's soul. Compared to you, I don't even deserve the bold monster label. If I hadn't had it confirmed from several sources, I wouldn't have believed half the stuff I've heard. Even now, I've got my doubts, but what do you know, running into you again today. Mind if I take a peek at your soul rings? Just need to scratch this itch of curiosity, clear up a few things. Dugu needed to see it to believe it, to finally put his confusion to rest. Just like that, you want to see them? Think I got loser stamped on my forehead. Chowda wasn't biting. Senior Poison Douluo, I have no idea where you heard about my soul rings. And whether those stories are true or not, you can go ask around, get someone else to vouch for me. My soul rings are tied to some personal stuff, so I'm not exactly flashing them around for everyone. Hope you understand. They weren't exactly buddies, and he wasn't about to put on a show for Dugu. Oh really? Dugu's face soured. You trying to stiff-arm me? This old man's just asking for a look. Chowda kept his cool. Senior, don't put me in an awkward position here. Humph. Dugu scoffed. Don't think just because you slipped through Chrysanthemum Pass you can look down on me. Not everyone gets to tell me no. Dugu's overbearing style was nothing new to Tang San, who sat back to watch the fireworks, secretly hoping Dugu would give Chowda a hard time. Chowda wasn't thrilled either. Senior, you're a titled Douluo. You really want to pick on some kid? Shui Binger chimed in, Senior Poison Douluo, you being a titled Douluo and all, word getting out about this wouldn't exactly be a good look, would it? Dugu Bo sneered, as long as you're all taken care of, who's gonna spill the beans? Covering my tracks is a walk in the park for me. He waved a hand, releasing a puff of poison gas that instantly melted the weeds around him. The message was clear, what he could do to weeds, he could do to people. It was a straight-up threat. In that case, Xiao cut to the chase, instantly using his space imprisonment skill to lock Dugu Bo in place. Huh. He actually trapped me. Dugu Bo realized he was in trouble and immediately tried to blast his way out with his soul power, Soul King level power. Nothing, Soul Emperor level. Still nothing, force to it, he unleashed his martial soul avatar and soul sage level power. The confinement loosened a bit, but he still couldn't break free. Finally, at Contra level power, he managed to shake off the space imprisonment. Dugu Bo's face was grim now. He'd underestimated Xiaoda's soul skill, and the guy himself, way too much. Senior Poison Douluo, I'm not looking for a fight, but I'm not exactly a pushover either. Xiaoda just wanted to show a little muscle, not start a blood feud, otherwise, he could have just snuck in a space blade attack and maybe even taken Dugu Bo out, but things hadn't gotten that far, yet. Alright, Dugu Bo said heavily, I underestimated you. Now I believe you could have escaped from Juaguan. You really are a monster with those 10,000-year soul rings. Xiaoda didn't flinch. Senior, can we be on our way now? Dugu Bo suddenly chuckled. Heh, I think of myself as an old monster, an old poison, but I'm not so sure I can handle a little monster like you. If that's the case, no need to force things. Go on. Since he wasn't sure he could hold Xiaoda, there was no point in pushing it. Dugu Bo was nothing if not decisive. Besides, he knew Xiaoda's file didn't mention this confinement ability, and that he could teleport long distances. Those two things made Dugu Bo's job impossible. The real kicker was, Dugu Bo realized Xiaoda was stronger than he thought. If you can't take someone down, best not make an enemy of them. Of course, Dugu Bo, being who he was, wasn't about to apologize. His last statement was as close to backing down as he was going to get. If Xiaoda wanted revenge later, Dugu Bo would just have to deal with it. Xiaoda left with Shui Binger and Shui Wu. Tang San sidled up to Dugu Bo. Old monster, you let Xiaoda walk after he embarrassed you like that? Aren't you worried he'll come back for payback? He thought Dugu Bo still had a chance to take Xiaoda out. Dugu Bo glared at Tang San. Tang San, you seem to want me to kill Xiaoda. You two know each other. Got a grudge. The old monster wasn't as dumb as he looked, Tang San explained. I ran into Xiaoda in Soto City. He's not your average guy. His spirit ring is special. And he's got the power to back it up. You can't afford to offend someone like that. If you do, you need to finish the job, or you're just asking for trouble down the road. I don't have a beef with him personally. I just think you should eliminate him, old poison, before he becomes a problem. Dugu Bo eyed him skeptically. I don't need some kid telling me what to do. Humph, that Xiaoda kid is weird. Today was nothing. If he's holding a grudge, I ain't scared of him. Now scram. Go handle what you promised me. If you can't do it, dealing with you will be a whole lot easier than dealing with Xiaoda. Tang San smirked inwardly, not intimidated by Dugu Bo in the slightest. Xiaoda, Shui Binger, and Shui Wu left Sunset Forest, and Shui Wu finally let out a relieved breath. Brother-in-law, you scared me half to death. That was a title Douluo. Shui Binger was a little worried. Did we just make an enemy of Poison Douluo? Xiaoda just smiled. He offended us. If he could have done something, he wouldn't have let us walk. We'd have jumped him first. Who knows who'd be eating dirt now? Don't sweat it. I've got your back. Shui Wu gushed, brother-in-law's the best. Poison Douluo was probably shaking in his boots. With you around, I'm not scared of anything. Shui Binger cautioned, don't get cocky. He's a title Douluo, after all. I just hope he doesn't cause any more trouble. Xiaoda shrugged. He should be thanking his lucky stars I don't cause him any trouble. He figured he'd already taken Dugubo's fairy grass, and Dugubo hadn't fought to the death, so there was no need for them to go to war. Of course, if Dugubo started acting up in the future, Chowda wouldn't mind putting him down. With a Space Blade Soul skill sneak attack, Chowda was confident he could handle Dugubo, or at least put him out of commission. And once he was seriously hurt, finishing the job would be a lot easier. Even Tang San's Yama's invitation could sneak attack and kill a title Douluo, not to mention Chowda's Space Blade. The trio reached the small town, picked up their carriage, and headed back to Jianshui Academy. Back in Sunset Forest, Tang San was being led to the Eye of Ice and Fire by Dugubo. There used to be fairy herbs here, too bad someone already grabbed them all. Tang San's heart sank. He'd missed out on a golden opportunity. Fairy herbs, Dugubo was puzzled. Chapter 83. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Old coot, you wouldn't know a fairy herb if it bit you on the butt. Do you even have a clue how rare those things are? Bad news, somebody already snatched them. All that's left are the roots. Who knows how long it'll take for them to grow into anything useful again. Tang San was bummed. If he'd gotten there sooner, those herbs would have been his. Dugubo, clearly annoyed, snapped, quit beating around the bush and spell it out. What the heck is a fairy herb anyway? Tang San shot him a look that said, seriously. Then he explained, a fairy herb is like the king of medicinal plants. Not only can it give your soul power a major boost, but more importantly, it can upgrade your natural talents. Think improvements to your spirit, your body, your soul weapon. The possibilities are endless. If your granddaughter, Dugu Yen, got her hands on one, I guarantee she'd become a title Douluo someday, and she'd go even further than you ever did. Heck, one of those herbs might even completely cure the poison in your system. Still think they aren't a big deal? This kind of stuff grows in my garden. Is this stuff for real? Dugubo felt like he'd been robbed blind. Damn it all. If I ever find out who swiped those herbs. Tang San reasoned, there's a serious poison barrier around this ice and fire yin-yang well. Whoever got in here to steal those herbs had to be either super strong or have some kind of special trick. Hey, old-timer, these herbs went missing a few months back, right? Didn't you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any suspicious characters? Dugubo frowned, thinking hard. I realized the herbs were gone pretty quick and started searching everywhere. I even checked out everyone in Sunset Forest, but nobody was carrying anything. I didn't find a thing. Then it hit him. Could it have been that Chowda guy? Thinking about Chowda's knack for teleporting, dodging the poison shouldn't have been hard. And Chowda just happened to be hanging around Sunset Forest. He hadn't known Chowda's abilities before, and he hadn't found anything in his group's soul guide storage devices. He'd thought it was just a coincidence that Chowda and company were there. Now, knowing Chowda's powers, it added up. Tang San pressed him. Who are you thinking of? Dugubo looked at Tang San. Chowda. Back when the herbs were stolen, Chowda and some women just happened to be in Sunset Forest. I didn't know what he was capable of back then, so I figured he couldn't get through the poison. But now I realize he probably could. Still, I checked their storage soul guides and didn't find any herbs. Chowda. He boosted the good stuff. Maybe. Tang San said, it's a strong possibility. Just because you didn't find anything doesn't mean they didn't already use them or have a way to hide them. My bet is they already took them. Dugubo scowled, picturing Chowda with Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong. Those women with Chowda, they had talent and looked good. Maybe some of them were using that stuff, especially Lu Erlong. She jumped to level 79 in Sunset Forest around that time. Must have been the herbs. They were the prime suspects. They had the means and the opportunity. Damn it, they stole my herbs. He was now almost certain Chowda and his crew were the culprits. It was probably them. Whether it was Chowda or not, Tang San wanted to rub it in. Too bad for you, you can't touch Chowda now. So what good does it do knowing he was the thief? Humph. Dugu Bo was feeling low. Don't tell me what I should do. Right now, I'm the one with the problem. If you can't fix me, you're gonna be the first one to suffer. As for the herb situation, Dugu Bo figured he'd settle the score with Xiao De if he ever got the chance. If not, whatever. Truth be told, he wasn't sure how to handle Xiao De. He'd need a clear shot. If he got one, he'd strike. If not, he'd forget about it. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Xiao De, Shui Binger, and Shui Yue returned to Tianshui Academy. Xiao De cooked dinner with Shui Binger and Shui Yue in their dorm, then left and returned to Lamba Academy. On the way back in a carriage, he saw a girl being hassled. She looked hurt, doing the right thing. Xiao De chased off the bullies and helped the girl. Thank you, sir, for saving me. My name is Qianrenxue. May I ask your name? The girl seemed genuinely grateful. Oh, I know who you are. Why else would I have intervened? Xiao De saw through the disguise. The chick was pretending to be Qianrenxue, but who was she acting for? Because Qianrenxue was bound to capture space, Xiao De instantly knew her identity when he saw Qianrenxue. Qianrenxue was already a soul sage. How could she be pushed around by some measly soul masters? She was obviously putting on an act to get close to Xiao De. Xiao De decided to play along and see what she was up to. My name is Xiao De. I'm a student at Lamba Academy. You're Qianrenxue, right? You're a soul master. Do you go to a soul master academy? Xiao De. What a lovely name. Qianrenxue gave a dazzling smile, showing off a mature, sexy figure. I am a soul master, but I haven't been studying at any academy. I just arrived in Heaven Do City not long ago. I ran into some unpleasant people. If you hadn't come along, I don't know what might have happened. Her voice caught, pretending to be upset. Xiao De was at a loss for words. Well, the bad guys are gone now. It's best if you hurry back to your place before dark and try not to go out at night. Yes, Qianrenxue said sweetly. Thank you, young master. I'll go back now. I'll find you again someday so I can properly repay you for saving me. She turned and left, glancing back every few steps. That's it, just a staged encounter to meet up again later. Xiao De wasn't sure what Qianrenxue was planning, but he knew they'd cross paths again. It wouldn't be long. He didn't know that Qianrenxue had done this because she was missing Xiao De and wanted to see him. Sure enough, a few days later, Qianrenxue showed up at Lamba Academy, looking for Xiao De. Her reason was to thank him again for saving her life. Hey, Xiao De, who's that girl looking for you? Xiao Wu was curious. Ning Rongrong piped up. Xiao De's been going out a lot lately. Maybe he's been seeing someone on the side. Is she hot? Can we go take a look? Zhu Qing, I'm curious too. Let's go. Lu Erlong, you haven't been messing around, have you, boy? You gonna tell me there are other girls out there? Oh. The vinegar jug was about to explode. Ahem. Xiao De stammered, it's a girl I helped a few days ago. She was being roughed up by some thugs, so I stepped in. I didn't expect her to show up again. If you don't believe me, you can all come with me. Of course, the four women would tag along. Chapter 84 Confrontation Between Women. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wow, she's gorgeous. A crowd of guys already stood in front of Lamba Academy's gate, all ogling Qianrenxue. With long, blonde hair and a matching dress, Qianrenxue was the picture of elegance. She was tall and slender, her figure radiating confidence, her face striking, and her presence undeniably noble. A guy named Tai Long stepped forward, trying to be smooth. Hey there. I'm Tai Long. What brings you here? Maybe I can help you out. A flicker of annoyance crossed Qianrenxue's face before she replied, I'm here to see Xiao De. He's expecting me, so I don't need your help. Asterisk what? Asterisk she's looking for Xiao De. Asterisk seriously. Tai Long felt a surge of resentment. Chao Da already had Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing wrapped around his finger. Why did all the beautiful women flock to him? Though he seethed, Tai Long knew better than to make a move. The gap between them was too vast. He was barely a soul master, while Chao Da was already a soul king. The difference was so immense, Tai Long didn't even dare to dream of competing with Chao Da, especially not for a woman's attention. He still thought Chao Da was a soul king. Little did he know, Chao Da had already leveled up to Soul Emperor, a fact that would have only deepened Tai Long's inferiority complex. The dean's here. Someone shouted. And look, it's Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing. The Academy's goddesses, all in one place, that the arrival of Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong caused an even bigger stir. Everyone, back to practice. Stop gawking. Lu Erlong bellowed, scattering the students like leaves in the wind. Even though Lu Erlong was attractive and had a great figure, the students were more scared of her than attracted. She was gentle and kind to Chao Da and his inner circle, but with everyone else, she had a famously explosive temper. Qian Renxue spotted Chao Da, as well as Lu Erlong and the others. She already knew Lu Erlong was the dean of Lanba Academy and Chao Da's teacher. She also knew a bit about Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing, that they had been close to Chao Da since their time in Soto City and Silv City. She was aware that Ning Rongrong was the little princess of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School, which gave Chao Da an inside track with them. It's her. She's stunning. No wonder Chao Da's so smitten. Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, and Lu Erlong had never met Qian Renxue before, and her appearance and aura definitely caught them off guard. She was a serious contender. Chao Da. Qian Renxue greeted him with a warm smile, projecting confidence and maturity. What are you doing here? Chao Da asked, feigning surprise. Qian Renxue played along. Didn't I say I wanted to thank you? Here I am. Are you unhappy to see me? How could I say I'm unhappy? Even if I was, I'd forgive you for your beauty. Chao Da thought to himself. It's just, unexpected. Ning Rongrong sidled up to Chao Da, tilting her chin up as if challenging Qian Renxue. Brother Chao Da, who's this big sister? Aren't you going to introduce us? The words brother and big sister dripped with sarcasm. Qian Renxue towered over Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing, and was about the same height as Lu Erlong. Her noble, almost ethereal aura set her apart. It was precisely this difference that made Ning Rongrong and the others wary. Chao Da made the introductions. This is Qian Renxue. We've only met once before, so we don't know each other that well. Qian Renxue, this is Lu Erlong, the dean of our academy and our teacher. And these are my little sisters, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing. Brother, you're blushing like crazy, Xiao Wu thought, giving Chao Da a knowing glance. Hearing the name Qian Renxue, she immediately realized this was the woman Chao Da had trapped in his pocket dimension. But Xiao Wu also understood that Qian Renxue had no clue about her special relationship with Chao Da. They really didn't know each other well. Of all of them, she understood the secrets and properties of the pocket dimension best, things Chao Da had told her but not revealed to the others. Hello, Qian Renxue said to Lu Erlong and the others, her tone polite but distant. In her mind, they were rivals for Chao Da's affection, so she wasn't about to be overly friendly. Ning Rongrong jumped in. Qian Renxue, that's a pretty name. Are you a soul master? What academy are you with? Lu Erlong suggested, let's not stand out here talking. Come on inside. Thank you, but I'm here to thank Chao Da for saving me, Qian Renxue said, declining the offer. She turned to Chao Da. As a thank you, I'd like to treat you to a meal. Ning Rongrong, feeling snubbed, piped up. You think you can just whisk away brother Chao Da for a meal? No way. We're busy training. We don't have time to eat with you. He gets that you appreciate him, so you can leave now. Right, brother Chao Da, Chao Da chuckled. A meal's no big deal. It's almost noon anyway. Why don't we all go together? He looked at Qian Renxue. Would that be okay? The more, the merrier, right? Qian Renshue couldn't exactly refuse. If you insist, let's all go. If she had her way, she would have preferred to be alone with Chowda, but that seemed impossible. Chowda's agreement to dinner with Qian Renshue was fine by Ning Rongrong and the others, as long as they were there to keep an eye on things. Great! I've already booked a room at the hotel, Qian Renshue said, revealing her preparations. She had hoped to walk next to Chowda, but Ning Rongrong and the others wedged themselves between them. Ning Rongrong deliberately kept Qian Renshue occupied, preventing her from having a chance to chat with Chowda. So, big sister Qian Renshue, how old are you, anyway? You look a lot older than us. Qian Renshue wanted to strangle Ning Rongrong, whose words were incredibly annoying. Hee, you look about my age. I'm probably around Chowda's age. You call him, Brother Chowda, so you can call me, sister, too. Xiao Wu chimed in. I'm not calling you, sister. You're older than me, so you should be calling me, sister. Actually, just call me Miss Xiao Wu. That's what everyone calls me. Zhu Zhuqing weighed in. I think it's easier to just use first names. Qian Renshue, your surname is pretty rare. You know, the previous pope of the Spirit Hall was named Qianshuan. I wonder if you're related. That she was just making conversation, but her words struck a nerve. Qian Renshue quickly denied it. I have no idea who the pope of the Spirit Hall is. I have nothing to do with them. But from what you're saying, it sounds like you're not exactly fans of the Spirit Hall. Ning Rongrong snorted. The Spirit Hall wants to destroy us. Of course we're not fans. If you're with the Spirit Hall, I suggest you leave right now. Qian Renshue smiled smoothly. Chowda saved me. Anyone who wants to harm him is my enemy. That the women exchanged barbs, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Lu Erlong and Chowda listened without saying a word. Chapter 85 Yu Xiaogang goes crazy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's hard to imagine the drama that can unfold at a ladies' lunch. Chowda, I'll always remember your kindness. I'll be back the next chance I get. Qian Renshue had to leave. She had to maintain her cover as Prince Xue Qinghe, and couldn't be gone for too long. Seeing Chowda twice had eased her longing, enough to keep her going for a while longer. Even though revealing her true identity to Chowda was risky, Qian Renshue thought it was worth it. Hey, snap out of it, bro. She's gone, Xiao Wu said, tugging on Chowda's arm. Chowda played it cool. I was just thinking about something. My mind was wandering. Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, and Xiao Wu all rolled their eyes. They knew Chowda's type, always on the lookout for pretty women and never missing a chance to get away with something. They knew him all too well. Lu Erlong glanced down the street and said, well, we're already out, so let's do some shopping. It's been a while. Xiao Wu was immediately on board. Yeah. Let's see if we can find anything cool, fun, or yummy. Ning Rongrong chimed in, just grab whatever you want. It's on me. Talk about a sugar mama. Zhu Zhuqing smiled. Then let's go. And so, Chowda was dragged into a shopping spree. They wandered around until evening. When it was time to head back to Lanba Academy, suddenly, they heard someone calling Lu Erlong's name. Erlong. The call startled Chowda and the others. Lu Erlong turned around, surprised. Flender. Chowda and the others looked back and saw Flender, Yu Xiaogang, Zhao Wuji, and Qin Ming. The four of them had been out for drinks and stumbled upon Lu Erlong. Yu Xiaogang was visibly uncomfortable, avoiding Lu Erlong's gaze. He'd been running from their past, but ever since arriving in Tiando City, he'd had a nagging feeling they'd meet. Now that it was happening, he didn't know how to handle it. Lu Erlong saw Yu Xiaogang too, but her reaction was calm. He no longer held a place in her heart. It was all Chowda now. I thought I was seeing things, but it really is you. Flender was happy to see Lu Erlong. Erlong, you're looking better than ever. Unlike us old-timers, Flender had always had a thing for Lu Erlong, and still did. But back then, Lu Erlong and Yu Xiaogang were into each other, so he had to step aside. Later, when he found out Lu Erlong was Yu Xiaojiang's cousin, he had a glimmer of hope, but Lu Erlong's feelings for Yu Xiaojiang hadn't changed, and Yu Xiaojiang chose to run, so he never had a chance. Knock it off, Flander, you're still full of pep. Lu Erlong was glad to see her old friends, but Flander and Yu Xiaojiang were just friends now. After a quick hello, Flander pulled Yu Xiaojiang forward, grinning. Xiaojiang, why are you so shy around Erlong? Erlong, this guy's always thinking about you. Lu Erlong found Yu Xiaojiang's awkwardness amusing. She'd moved on from their relationship and poured her heart into Chowda. Thinking back to the past and seeing Yu Xiaojiang's reaction, she found it almost childish. She said frankly, cousin, I didn't expect to run into you. I've made peace with the past, so let's just pretend nothing ever happened. From now on, you're my cousin, and I'm your cousin. No need to make things weird. Flander and Yu Xiaojiang were stunned. Lu Erlong had moved on. Forgotten everything. Erlong. Flander didn't know whether to be happy or sad for her. Yu Xiaojiang couldn't wrap his head around it. He'd been so hung up on the situation, avoiding Lu Erlong at all costs. Now Lu Erlong was saying she'd forgotten about it, moved on, and wasn't hung up anymore. He felt foolish, almost pathetic. If anyone was going to move on and forget the past, it should have been him, not Lu Erlong. He couldn't accept it. Heh. Yu Xiaojiang chuckled. So, I've been living in a fantasy. How ridiculous. I'm the biggest fool of all, He lost it, laughing like a madman. Lu Erlong said, cousin, don't be like that. Let go of the past, and you can start over, find someone new, just like me, and you'll be happy. What was that supposed to mean? She already had someone new. And he'd been playing the lovesick fool, running away for nothing. Ha! I'm just a joke, a walking joke. Ha! Yu Xiaojiang continued to laugh hysterically. Xiaojiang, calm down. Flander didn't know how to comfort him. Lu Erlong's transformation was too drastic. In the past, Lu Erlong had loved Yu Xiaojiang so much that she was willing to defy the world to be with him. If Yu Xiaojiang hadn't run, they might have been together, maybe even had children, but now, Lu Erlong had changed. She'd forgotten the past and moved on, seemingly finding new happiness. Flander could only sigh at the cruelty of time. Xiao Wuji and Qin Ming tried to calm Yu Xiaojiang down. Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqin, and Ning Rongrong were completely bewildered, unsure of what was happening. Chowda watched calmly. Lu Erlong remained composed. She no longer had feelings for Yu Xiaojiang, had forgotten the past, and wanted Yu Xiaojiang to forget it too. She wanted their shared history to end then and there, no more loose ends, so they could both move on. She looked at Chowda and whispered, I'll tell you all about it when we get back. Chowda nodded, smiling. Okay. Feeling Chowda's trust and love, Lu Erlong's heart warmed. Her worries about Chowda being bothered by her past with Yu Xiaojiang faded away. Why would Chowda care? Lu Erlong no longer had any feelings for Yu Xiaojiang. She used to be untouched by anyone, but now she was his, Chowda's, woman, the best thing he'd ever had. Why dwell on the past? Erlong, Xiaojiang's not doing so well. We should probably get him home. Where are you staying? We'll come find you after he's calmed down. Flander approached. Lu Erlong replied, come to Lanba Academy. I'm the headmistress there. After all, we're the Golden Iron Triangle, so you should definitely come visit. Lanba Academy. Flander wasn't familiar with it, but he made a mental note. Got it. I'll stop by another day. Gotta get Xiaojiang back first. What started as a pleasant surprise had ended with Yu Xiaojiang going off the rails. After Flander and the others left with Yu Xiaojiang, Lu Erlong led Chowda and the others back to Lanba Academy. On the way, Lu Erlong gave them a brief rundown. Flander, Yu Xiaojiang, and I met over 20 years ago during some training. We teamed up and earned the name Golden Iron Triangle. Then some stuff happened, and I found out Yu Xiaojiang was my cousin. I haven't seen him in about 20 years, so I didn't expect to bump into him today. Xiao Wu and the others could tell there was a story between Lu Erlong and Yu Xiaojiang. but with them being cousins, they figured it must be a tragedy. Chapter 86 Slut Cao, Master, I will take care of Erlong, so you can teach Tang San wholeheartedly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 86, That Snake Cao, I'll take care of Erlong, so you can focus on teaching Tang San. Flender, Xiao Wu Qi, Qin Ming, we're going all out tonight. Yu Xiaogang skipped going back to Tiando Royal Academy. Once he'd calmed down a little, he dragged Flender and the others to a bar. Qin Ming, respectful as ever, tried to reassure him. Master, if something's eating at you, a good drunk will sort it out. We're here for you. Xiao Wuji grinned. Drinks are on. I'm going down with the ship tonight. No worries when I'm wasted. Flender chimed in. If a good drunk is what you need, Xiaogang, we're with you. Let's tie one on. Thanks, guys, I appreciate it. Yu Xiaogang just wanted to drown his sorrows. Alright, bottoms up. They drank in silence for a while, then Yu Xiaogang, well into his cups, started unloading his baggage on Flender and the others. Flender, do you think I'm some kind of joke? Qin Ming tried to soothe him. Master, nobody thinks that. Don't get all worked up. You don't get it. Yu Xiaogang took another gulp. I am the joke. Ha! Dumped by women. Again, suddenly, he burst out, why? Why do they all leave me? Bibi Dong, why? Lu Erlong, why? Why do you all ditch me? It's always your fault, so why do I have to be the one to suffer? Xiao Wu Qi and Qin Ming had no clue who this Bibi Dong was. They knew who the Pope of the Spirit Hall was, but not her full name, but putting it together with Lu Erlong, they figured Bibi Dong was another of Yu Xiaogang's flames. Poor guy had been dumped by two women, it sounded pretty pathetic, so they felt a little sorry for him. Xiao Wu Qi raised his glass. Master, I'm toasting to you. But hey, plenty of fish in the sea. No use crying over some broad who ain't worth it. Yu Xiaogang downed his drink and said, God's got it out for me, Yu Xiaogang. It's not fair. I'm a direct descendant of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan, so why did my spirit go all wonky? Why couldn't I break through level 30? I couldn't break through my spirit power, but I didn't give up. I busted my butt studying spirit master knowledge, and finally got somewhere. Then I met Bibi Dong. She was drawn in by my brains, I thought we'd be happy together forever. But she lied to me. She dumped me for power and position, I knew she wasn't worth dwelling on, so I tried to forget her, and finally I met Lu Erlong. We fell in love, we were gonna get hitched, ha. God's messing with me. You know what? Lu Erlong turned out to be my cousin. Cousin. How messed up is that? Can I marry my cousin? No way. She wouldn't have cared what people thought, but I did. I couldn't handle it, so I ran away. I thought Lu Erlong would wait for me, like always, love me, give me time to get used to it. But today, she's changed. I can't feel her love for me anymore. Not at all. Ha. She bailed on me too. Why? Why is this happening? God, why are you torturing me? It's not fair. No, they shouldn't have dumped me. I should have dumped them. Yeah, I dumped them. They're all terrible women, bad news. I'm done with them. I'm cutting them loose. Yu Xiaogang just poured it all out, crying as he talked. Flender and the others just listened and let him vent. As Yu Xiaogang got drunker, he started talking more crazy nonsense. If I'd known this would happen, I should have taken Bibi Dong and Lu Erlong's bodies back then, trampled on them hard, and made them feel better. It's ridiculous that I'm pretending to be a gentleman. Why are you pretending to be reserved? Now I have gained nothing, and I regret it at the expense of others, but in the end, I am old, I have gained nothing, and I am still an old boy. Ridiculous, extremely ridiculous. Seeing Yu Xiaogang getting out of hand, Flender quickly shut him down. Xiaogang, you've had too much. Let's go, we should get back. He was worried Xiaogang would say something even worse and ruin his master image. Zhao Waoqi and Qin Ming played it cool, pretending to be drunk and like they hadn't heard anything. The three of them stumbled along, dragging Xiaogang, who just kept rambling. His nonsense got nastier, all aimed at Bibi Dong and Lu Erlong. Zhao Waoqi and Qin Ming were seeing a whole new side of Xiaogang, the master. A really ugly side. They wondered if the Xiaogang they knew was just an act, and if this drunk version was the real him. They sighed. Maybe women had really messed him up, and he was just a sad case. They decided to keep it a secret and pretend it never happened. Meanwhile, back at Lanba Academy, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong were relaxing in the Pocket Dimension Villa. Lu Erlong and Chao De were at her place. So, that's the deal with Xiaogang. Lu Erlong told Chao De everything that had happened with Xiaogang. It was a mistake, but thankfully it didn't go too far. Now, at most, he's just a blood relative. A cousin, nothing more. The only one I love is you, my man. Now that you know all this, are you jealous? Are you mad? Chao De wrapped his arms around Lu Erlong. They looked into each other's eyes. He said, without a hint of shame, yeah, I'm jealous. You gotta make it up to me. Lu Erlong smiled. And what kind of compensation do you have in mind? Tonight, I'm yours. Chao De grinned and whispered in her ear. Lu Erlong blushed crimson. Where do you get these ideas? You just know how to spoil me rotten. You're my downfall. Xiaogang, on the other hand, felt like crap and threw up all night. If it wasn't for that snake Chao and his interdimensional bedroom, maybe Lu Erlong and Xiaogang would still have ended up together, a couple in name only. But now, that snake Chao can only smile and say to Xiaogang, Master, I'll take care of Erlong. You just focus on making Tang San a star. The next day, Xiaogang woke up feeling terrible. Flender, I was drunk last night, right? I didn't say anything I shouldn't have, did I? Flender shook his head. Nah. You just kept drinking, then passed out. Wow Flender thought to himself. Didn't know you were like that, Xiaogang. And Erlong almost ended up with this loser. If she knew what you were really like, she'd be devastated. After Xiaogang came back the night before, he was still talking nonsense, showing his most evil side, talking about how to make Bibi Dong and Lu Erlong feel bad, how to curse them, and how to take revenge on them, which made Flender flustered. After what happened last night, Flender felt that Xiaogang was a stranger. He felt that he was always in disguise. The Xiao from last night was the real him just now, but he usually restrained his disguise well. Flender decided to keep an eye on Xiaogang and not let him do anything that would hurt Lu Erlong. Lu Erlong is always Flender's favorite, even if they can't be together. He is still willing to bless Lu Erlong and protect Lu Erlong. As long as Lu Erlong is happy, Flender is fine. End of this chapter. Chapter 87. Create your own martial arts, new direction to try. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For this kneading technique, focus on your form and where you're putting your energy. Just follow what I showed you. That morning, in Lu Erlong's courtyard, Xiao Wu was teaching Chen Li and Mai Xiang the art of kneading. Xiao Wu, a captivating rabbit spirit, was instructing Chen Li and her daughter, Mai Xiang, both of whom shared the same rabbit martial soul, 3 bunnies. Chen Li and Mai Xiang's rabbit spirits were fairly average, but thankfully, their explosive power wasn't bad. Their first spirit rings also enhanced their explosive force and attack strength. Since they all possessed rabbit martial souls and naturally flexible bodies, they were well suited for Xiao Wu's kneading techniques. So, she taught them this skill, giving them another move to work with. Xiao Wu's kneading skills were impressive, rivaling many attacking soul skills. Her signature move, Blast Kill 8 Duan Wrestling, was incredibly powerful. Chao De, munching on fruit nearby, admired their movements. He thought there was a unique grace to the kneading technique. Chen Li's rabbit ears and Mai Xiang's cute bunny tail only added to the beauty when combined with the art. Plus, Chen Li's ears and Mai Xiang's tail were irresistibly soft, and Chao De always made sure to sneak in a touch. Though a bit shy, Chen Li and Mai Xiang didn't mind. After all, he was Chao De, their benefactor, the man they admired, and the patriarch they respected. Master, you sure know how to live the good life, Ning Rongrong purred as she approached. She was now fully grown, with a seductive figure, a voice like honey, and an allure that drew everyone in. Xiao De, never one to miss an opportunity, grinned. If you're offering, I certainly wouldn't refuse. Ning Rongrong rolled her eyes playfully, then sat beside him, watching Xiao Wu and the others practice. Do you think I should learn kneading from Xiao Wu? It would at least give me a way to protect myself. Her question struck a chord with Xiao De. Their physical bodies had been nourished by the ingredients and fruits from the space, and their strength was steadily increasing. Not just Xiao De, but even Ning Rongrong, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing were strong enough to take on a Soul Douluo in a straight-up fight. Lu Erlong was even stronger. Xiao De, thanks to the space, was physically tougher than Ning Rongrong and the others, rivaling Lu Erlong. And Lu Erlong's martial soul and spirit power made her physical strength even greater. They'd been so focused on raising their soul power that they'd overlooked their physical strength. It wasn't weak, but it wasn't as developed as their soul power and soul skills. Rongrong, you've hit on something important. Xiao De paused, thinking. Because the space's ingredients and fruits have constantly boosted our physique, we're far stronger than other soul masters. We need to capitalize on that advantage. Xiao Wu's kneading is all about using physical strength to launch stronger attacks, especially you, Rongrong. You're an auxiliary soul master, and your skills are all about support. You need a way to defend yourself. By mastering your physical strength, you can become a powerful soul master who can both assist and fight. We need to study and systematize Xiao Wu's kneading techniques, compiling a martial art based on it. We all practice it, and with our strength, it should be awesome. He liked the idea of treating kneading like a martial art, developing a set of moves based on it. Ning Rongrong's eyes sparkled. That's brilliant. You're so smart, Xiao De. Feeling inspired, she stood and started massaging Xiao De's shoulders. Ah, that's the spot, Xiao De sighed contentedly. It's settled, then. We'll discuss this later. We need to leverage our strength and make better use of our soul power. Why not create our own soul skills? And we could work on ring fusion skills and martial soul fusion skills. If we succeed, that's another weapon in our arsenal. Ning Rongrong blinked. Self-created soul skills, ring fusion, martial soul fusion, those are all about natural talent. Hard work alone won't guarantee success. It's risky to jump in without a plan. That's why so few people can do it. She paused, then grinned. But we're talented and have good foundations. We can try. If we can't do it, it'll be even tougher for anyone else. As an auxiliary soul master, any soul skills I create would be auxiliary, too. To improve my self-defense, I should focus on kneading first. For martial soul fusion, it makes sense I'd have a better chance fusing with another auxiliary martial soul, but we should all give it a shot. And then there's ring fusion technology. Let's try everything, just in case. Xiao De hadn't thought about this before, but now that he couldn't ignore it. They had the time, the talent, and the conditions. They had to do their best to create their own martial arts, try martial soul fusion, ring fusion, self-created soul skills, and all. During lunch, Xiao De, Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, Chenli, and Mai Xiang discussed the plan. About Xiao Wu's kneading skills, Xiao Wu said, I can teach you kneading. You saying all of that made me realize my kneading skills have gotten better with me constantly getting stronger. Physical strength makes kneading skills stronger. We're all strong, so learning kneading is perfect for us. Especially you, Rongrong, you're an auxiliary soul master. With kneading, you can be a force to be reckoned with. Of course, kneading takes hard work and dedication. Ning Rongrong didn't have the natural flexibility and power that Xiao Wu did, so learning to knead would take real effort. Ning Rongrong said firmly, I'm not afraid of hard work. Xiao De said, I'm going to work with Xiao Wu to systematize her kneading skills and turn them into a martial art, something that works for us, drawing on our strength and soul power. It won't be a soul skill. No soul ring power necessary. It's not easy, he said, but it'll be worth it. Lu Erlong said, whatever we can do to help, we'll do. She looked at everyone. Your talents are far beyond ordinary people. Whether it's kneading, martial soul fusion, ring fusion, or self-created soul skills, we have an opportunity. Let's work hard together. Xiao Wu said, I'll start with my brother, Qiao De, on kneading, and I'll teach Chunli, my Xiang, and Rong the basics. Zhu Zhuqing said, then I'll work on my own soul skills and ring fusion skills. I'll learn kneading later. Lu Erlong said, Xiao Wu, Chunli, my Xiang, you all have rabbit martial souls, and Chunli and my Xiang are mother and daughter. Your chances for martial soul fusion are higher. You can start practicing, I'll gather information that might help. Chapter 88. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In Heaven Do City, at the Spirit Hall branch, Ju Douluo had been stationed there recently. Besides other duties assigned by Bibi Dong, he was also keeping tabs on Tang San, Tang Hao, and Qiao De. The Spirit Hall had confirmed Tang Hao's presence in Heaven Do City by attempting to assassinate Tang San and discovering some of Tang Hao's trails. However, they weren't planning any immediate action, just secret surveillance. After the failed assassination of Tang San, the Spirit Hall didn't follow up. They had considered trying to take out Qiao De as well, but Qianrenxue had ordered them to leave him alone, so they backed off. The Saintess actually knows Qiao De. This news surprised Ju Douluo. Is she trying to recruit him? Ju Douluo was one of the few who knew that Qianrenxue was Bibi Dong's daughter, Xueqinghe. He also knew their relationship was strained, and that Qianrenxue had the support of the Grand Priest, Qian Daolu. Ju Douluo sided with Bibi Dong, but he wouldn't dare mess with Qian Daolu, so, he stayed out of the mother-daughter drama. Since Qianrenxue wanted to win over Qiao De, Ju Douluo didn't interfere and just sent the information back to Bibi Dong at the Papal Palace for her to handle. The Seven Treasure Glazed Tile School has planted a lot of people at Lanba Academy. It seems Qiao De is pretty important. Whatever, let them be. Still, that kid Qiao De is no pushover. Ju Douluo stopped concerning himself with Qiao De and turned his attention back to Tang San. Interesting, Tang San has gotten mixed up with Dugu Bo. Perfect, we'll take care of Dugu Bo along with him later. Ju Douluo and Ghost Douluo had almost killed Dugu Bo once, but Prince Xuexing's guards rescued him. That's why Dugu Bo was now working for Prince Xuexing. Even though the old coot had a strange temper, he was loyal and paid back favors. If I get a chance, I should see Dugu Bo. I wonder if he's gotten any stronger. Heh. Ju Douluo had nothing but disdain for Dugu Bo. Meanwhile, back in Heaven Do City, at the Imperial Palace in the Prince's mansion, Qiao De had been summoned by Prince Xueqinghe, and he hadn't refused. It had been over 2 weeks since he'd last seen Qianrenxue. Qianrenxue was waiting for Qiao De in the garden pavilion. She'd carefully prepared refreshments, fruits, and a wooden box that seemed to hold a special gift. Brother Qiao, you're here. I've been looking forward to this. Xueqinghe, Qianrenxue, was very enthusiastic. This was only their second meeting in this guise, but she was already calling Qiao De brother. I don't want you to treat me like a brother. Qiao De thought to himself, then said politely, Your Highness, I'm younger than you. I should call you elder brother, Brother Xue. Xueqinghe smiled. It doesn't matter. Let's just be friends. Brother Qiao, please sit down and try this year's new tea. Qiao De took a sip. It's excellent. You've put a lot of thought into this, Brother Xue. You're a friend worth having, Xueqinghe said happily. I'm glad you like it, Brother Qiao. I truly consider you a brother. As he spoke, he opened the wooden box in front of him, revealing a brilliant light. Qiao De was surprised. A soul bone. And a 10,000-year one. Brother Xue, what's the meaning of this? Xueqinghe said, Brother Qiao, I haven't given you a proper gift yet. This is from me. Don't refuse. Free. Free, Qiao De put on a touched expression. Brother Xue, you're incredibly generous. It would be rude of me to refuse. Okay, I'll accept it. I came empty-handed today, but next time, I'll bring a gift in return. Xue Qinghe smiled. Then I'll be waiting for your gift, brother Qiao. Qiao De accepted the soul bone, and Xue Qinghe, Qian Renxue, was overjoyed. Qiao De put the soul bone into his storage tool, then looked at Xue Qinghe. Brother Xue, how about we become sworn brothers? We'll be brothers for life, sharing both the good times and the bad. Xue Qinghe was stunned for a moment, then happily said, okay. Let's swear the oath now. Unexpected joy. Qiao De actually wanted to be sworn brothers with her. After the oath, this relationship would exist, whether she was Xue Qinghe or Qian Renxue. This would make it easier for Qian Renxue to get closer to Qiao De in the future. Qian Renxue, Xue Qinghe, was more than willing to deepen their bond. Xue Qinghe wanted to have things prepared properly, but Qiao De stopped her. Qiao De said, forget the formalities. As long as we're sincere, we can swear the oath right here, before heaven and earth. Whatever you say, brother Qiao. Xue Qinghe agreed, feeling that Qiao De was right. Sworn brotherhood wasn't about pomp and circumstance, but about sincerity. So, in the pavilion, they bowed to the heavens and earth, becoming sworn brothers, vowing to share blessings and hardships. Brother Snow. Brother Qiao. Qiao De insisted on ceding the position of elder brother to Xue Qinghe, Qian Renxue. They talked and drank from morning till evening, hugging each other occasionally, discussing everything under the sun. Brother Qiao, let's do this again sometime. Xue Qinghe, Qian Renxue, reluctantly bid farewell to Qiao De. Back in her room, after closing the door, Qian Renxue couldn't help but blush, remembering her close contact with Qiao De. Qiao De, would you be surprised if you knew I was Qian Renxue? Qiao De, I really like you. What am I going to do? I can't stop thinking about you every day. I want to forget everything and just run away with you to be happy together, but Grandpa has been so good to me. I can't let him down. Just a little longer. After I finish things here, I'll come find you, and we'll never be apart again. Qiao De, while I'm not by your side, you're not allowed to mess around with other women. You're mine, you hear? Qian Renxue fell asleep unconsciously, rambling drunkenly. Qiao De returned to Lanba Academy in the carriage arranged by Qian Renxue. He was in a good mood, having tricked Qian Renxue into becoming sworn brothers, taken advantage of her during the drinking, and even gotten a 10,000-year soul bone. Qiao De understood that Qian Renxue cared so much about him. It must be the effect of the capture space ability, combined with some other factors, that had made Qian Renxue fall hopelessly in love with him. Qiao De, who had no shame, said to himself, it's not that I'm too good, but that capture space is too powerful. Hee, I really want to get a taste of Qian Renxue. Qiao De reined in his thoughts. He wasn't in a hurry. Qian Renxue was already a lost cause, and sooner or later she'd belong to him. For now, he had Lu Erlong. He wasn't craving anything else. He was content just spending time with them, taking advantage of them. That was a kind of enjoyment in itself. However, Qiao wasn't getting complacent. He hadn't relaxed his training and was still working hard to improve his strength. Recently, he had made progress in developing his kneading skill into a martial art. At the same time, he had discovered the importance of acupoints in the body and was planning to study them in order to unlock the body's potential. Tonight, Qiao De and Xiao Wu were in the same room. Qiao De was carefully observing Xiao Wu's acupoints. Her kneading skill was excellent, and it had something to do with the activation of certain acupoints on her body. By figuring out these acupoints, he could help others unlock them and develop the potential of their bodies, gaining more strength. Don't get the wrong idea. They were genuinely studying the acupoints of the human body, very seriously. Brother, stop it. It's so ticklish. Are you done yet? I can't take it anymore. Xiao Wu blushed. Qiao De was serious. Be patient. I'll figure it out soon. Xiao Wu strongly suspected that Qiao De was using this as an excuse to take advantage of her, but she didn't have enough proof. End of this chapter. Chapter 89 Self-Created Soul Skills, Fusion Technology. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Months flew by. The All-Continent Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition was less than a year away. Qiao De and the others trained relentlessly, making impressive progress. Xiao Wu had reached level 53, Lu Erlong level 82, Ning Rongrong level 45, Zhu Zhuqing level 46, and Xue Binger level 47. Qian Renshue's soul power, according to their intel, had reached level 73. Fueled by Chao Da's influence and their own advancement, Chao Da's soul power also surged, hitting level 66. Chenli and Mai Xiang, mother and daughter, had just reached level 21 when they acquired their second soul rings. They obtained their soul rings through leapfrogging. Both were yellow soul rings, less than 1,000 years old. The mother and daughter were thrilled and followed Chao Da's instructions without question, eager to please. After months of dedication, Chenli and Mai Xiang had mastered Xiao Wu's kneading techniques. Chao Da and the group refined these techniques, integrating them into a set of exercises. By combining kneading skills with physical strength and soul power, they could unleash surprisingly powerful attacks. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were also learning the kneading techniques. Chao Da and Lu Erlong learned the basics casually. With their strength, mastering kneading skills felt redundant. They focused on ring fusion techniques, aiming to create their own unique soul skills. Besides, their builds weren't suited for kneading skills, so they didn't force it. If it wasn't a good fit, no need to waste time. Guys, I finally integrated the explosive killing 8-stage rubbing skill with my soul ring, creating a custom soul skill. It's way stronger now. Xiao Wu was a natural, wielding kneading skills with passion and precision. Through constant experimentation, she combined them with her soul rings, birthing her signature move, the explosive killing 8-stage soul throwing skill. A soul skill draws its power from a soul ring. The ring enhances the skill's effectiveness. The soul master's power resides both within their body and the soul ring. The older the soul ring, the more power it holds, amplifying the soul skill. Xiao Wu's kneading technique relied on soul power and strength outside the ring. By linking it with her ring, she created a whole new soul skill. Xiao Wu's explosive killing 8-dan throwing skill now incorporated her fifth soul ring, the 10,000-year ring, skyrocketing its power. This custom skill could be adapted to different soul rings, varying the power and consumption and allowing for strategic flexibility. In contrast, soul skills tied directly to a ring were fixed and less versatile. Xiao Wu, that's awesome. Ning Rongrong hugged Xiao Wu, exclaiming, "Congrats." Ning Rongrong had attempted ring fusion but hadn't found success, so she focused her efforts on mastering kneading techniques. Lu Erlong observed, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing both have a knack for crafting their own soul skills. They should keep exploring that. Zhu Zhuqing had also developed her own soul skill, or rather, transformed an existing one, Nether Slash. Zhu Zhuqing wielded this skill in the original timeline, but now it was distinctly hers. She had built Nether Slash from the foundation of Nether 100 Claws. The current Ghost Slash skill was linked to her fourth ring, the 10,000-year ring. It wasn't just powerful, it carried dark energy. Upon striking a target, it inflicted physical damage while the dark energy assaulted their mind. It was far stronger than the Nether Slash from before. Mai Xiang gushed, "You guys are amazing." Chao Da looked at Chenli and Mai Xiang, saying, "You're doing great too. The martial soul fusion is showing promise. Keep at it, and you'll get there." The mother and daughter were working on fusing their martial souls, and the signs were encouraging. Chenli replied earnestly, "We'll give it our all, we promise." Both women possessed ordinary rabbit martial souls. What would the fusion yield? Some kind of super rabbit, perhaps. Chao Da had tried to assist them with martial soul fusion, but without success. He had even tried adding his soul skills, to no avail. However, he was successful at ring fusion. The ring fusion technique involves combining two or more soul rings, amplifying the power of a specific soul skill. Chao Da could currently fuse his second and third rings. Both were red, 10,000-year rings. Each ring possessed two soul skills, totaling 4, Forbidden Space, Space Confinement, Space Jump, and Space Squeeze. After fusing the two 10,000-year rings, he used them with the Space Jump soul skill. With the ring fusion, Space Jump's maximum range doubled, from 1 mile to 1 kilometer. At the same time, the size and weight limit of objects moved by the enhanced Space Jump also doubled. Xiao De could now teleport up to 20 people instead of 10, this advancement in the space jump dramatically boosted Xiao De's survivability. It was also more difficult to stop Xiao De from jumping in space. Even Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo's martial soul fusion technique, the bipolar static domain, might not be enough to counter Xiao De's ring fusion space jump. Xiao De had a wide array of effective soul skills. So, he was more inclined to focus on ring fusion techniques to enhance those abilities. He planned to prioritize crafting more ring fusion skills in the future. Xiao De, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Chen Li, and Mai Xiang had all made significant strides. Ning Rongrong dedicated herself to kneading techniques, only Lu Erlong hadn't seen breakthroughs. She had focused on assisting Xiao De and the others, finding information, resources, and helping with experiments. She dedicated herself to helping Xiao De improve, putting her own growth aside. After working this hard, we need a break. Xiao De declared, let's cook a feast tonight and go shopping tomorrow. A few days of fun are in order. Xiao Wu cheered, yay, brother. Shopping trip. Ning Rongrong added, it's time to get out of here. I've been cooped up for months. Lu Erlong said, there's a big auction tomorrow. Let's check it out. Chen Li offered, we can help with the cooking. Xiao De glanced at the darkening sky. Let's get started. We'll have a good feast tonight and relax. They could find ingredients and fruits in the capture space, and supplement with items from the college cafeteria. Cheers. Everyone was in high spirits and indulged in drinks. Chen Li held back, wanting to stay sober and watch over everyone. Eventually, she was the only one standing. However, Lu Erlong only had one bedroom, which created a logistical problem. The bedroom was large, and the bed was also large, so it worked out. Chen Li thoughtfully placed Xiao De, Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong on the same bed. Chen Li had her daughter sleep in the living room, while she kept watch. Xiao De's dream of sleeping with everyone came true, but he was passed out. End of this chapter. Chapter 90. A dream has come true, but it's a pity that I didn't do anything when I was Drew. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the morning, sunlight streamed into the house. Xiao De, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong were all still tangled up in bed. Xiao Wu was practically plastered to Xiao De, one leg thrown over him. Ning Rongrong was on his left, Zhu Zhuqing on his right. Xiao De stirred and woke up, his eyes immediately finding Xiao Wu, who was sleeping peacefully in his arms. A smile tugged at his lips, his hand wandered and closed around something soft. He gave it a playful pinch. Feeling mischievous, he pinched it a few more times, almost simultaneously. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing's eyes snapped open. They both saw the wandering hand on them. Knowing exactly what was happening, they exchanged a look, then closed their eyes again, pretending to be asleep, letting Xiao De's hand continue its exploration. Xiao De realized he'd been caught. He froze, then glanced at Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. Seeing their feigned slumber, his hands started getting into trouble again. Inside their heads, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were silently cursing Xiao De, but they continued to play possum and endure it. So, they're just pretending, Xiao De thought, catching on to their game. He decided to play along, feigning sleep himself, while his hands remained active. The room was silent, but the air crackled with suppressed energy. 10 minutes crawled by. Lu Erlong, who had slipped out of the room earlier, quietly pushed the door open. She instantly understood the situation. She shook her head at Xiao De, then cleared her throat lightly. Xiao De's hand finally stilled, retreating sheepishly. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing secretly sighed in relief. The torture was over. Rise and shine. Breakfast is ready, Lu Erlong announced. Ning Rongrong put on an act, stretching and rubbing her eyes. What am I doing here? Did anything happen? She asked, feigning surprise. She subtly checked her clothes, smoothing out a few wrinkles. Zhu Zhuqing also pretended to just wake up. She looked at Xiao De, got up, straightened her clothes, and said nothing. Xiao De, completely unbothered, acted like nothing had happened. He woke Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu blinked sleepily. We all slept together last night. Bro, you didn't try anything, did you? Xiao De faked regret. I wanted to, but I was totally wasted. Huge missed opportunity. I don't know if I'll ever get another chance like that. Ning Rongrong shot him a glare. That was a one-time thing. There won't be a next time. Lucky for you, you didn't do anything, or you'd be dead meat. As for the wandering hands, they just pretend it never happened. Zhu Zhuqing, ever the quiet one, had already packed up and headed out to wash up. Xiao De waited for Ning Rongrong and Xiao Wu to get dressed before getting up himself. Now, only Lu Erlong and Xiao De were left in the room. Lu Erlong playfully pinched Xiao De's cheek. You little rascal, always up to no good. Xiao De feigned innocence. I swear, I didn't do anything last night. Maybe not the big stuff, but you definitely took advantage. Lu Erlong picked up Xiao De's clothes, waiting for him to get dressed. Finally, she planted a kiss on his cheek. Hurry up and wash. Breakfast is ready. We need to thank Chenli later. We were all hammered last night, and she took care of us, kept watch, and even made breakfast this morning. She hasn't even slept. Xiao De nodded, acknowledging her words. Chenli and Mai Xiang clearly wanted to be part of Xiao De's family, and their loyalty was obvious. However, Xiao De was currently alone and had no family to speak of. He didn't have any romantic feelings for the mother and daughter, although he did occasionally take liberties. But that was just Xiao De being Xiao De. It didn't mean he was interested in them. Xiao De understood Chenli and Mai Xiang's intentions. Whether or not they would officially be considered family would have to wait until Xiao De actually established one. For now, he'd just maintain the status quo. Later, during breakfast, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help stealing glances at Xiao De's hands. They blushed, remembering what those hands had been up to. Rongrong, Zhuqing, are you guys feeling okay? Xiao Wu, clueless, thought they were under the weather. Ning Rongrong looked slightly embarrassed. It's nothing. I probably just didn't sleep well after drinking so much last night. Zhu Zhuqing said, I'm done eating. I feel a little queasy. I'm going to take a shower. Ning Rongrong wasn't really in the mood to eat either. Zhuqing, let's go together. They exchanged a knowing look. Xiao De understood. After Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing left the living room, Xiao De allowed them into the captured space villa. The shower in the villa was much more convenient and comfortable. If Chenli and Mai Xiang hadn't been around, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing would have asked Xiao De to send them into the captured space right from the living room. Lu Erlong noticed that Chenli looked exhausted. Chenli, you didn't sleep at all last night. Go get some rest. Chenli nodded. Okay. Then, she instructed her daughter, Mai Xiang, don't cause any trouble for anyone. Mai Xiang obediently replied, okay, Mom. Mai Xiang was now 13 or 14 years old, about the same age as Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, and Xiao Wu. Thanks to the improved ingredients and fruits from the captured space, Mai Xiang was blossoming into a young woman. While she might not stand out as much next to Xiao Wu and the others, she was undeniably beautiful. Plenty of boys at Lanba Academy were chasing after her. These days, Lu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, and Mai Xiang were considered the 5 goddesses of Lanba Academy. Among them, the students felt that Mai Xiang was the most approachable, while Xiao Wu and the others were unattainable goddesses to be admired from afar. After Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing finished their showers, Ning Rongrong and Lu Erlong also went to the captured space villa to wash up. Mai Xiang had already gone back to her and her mother's house to wash up after waking up in the morning. Xiao De took care of cleaning up the dishes, then went back to the captured space villa for his own shower. Alright, let's go check out the auction house. After everyone was ready, the 6 of them headed out. I'll just use my soul skills to get us there. Xiao De activated the ring fusion technique for a space jump, whisking them all away. After a few jumps, they arrived on the central street of Tiando City and emerged inside a house there. Ning Rongrong had previously paid for this house. They walked out of the house and headed straight for the auction house. They'd been there once before and had special VIP passes for entry. Money was no object for the wealthy Ning Rongrong. Wow, so many people, that this was Mai Xiang's first time at the auction house. She noticed the large crowd, most of whom were wearing masks, which she found a little strange. Lu Erlong explained, today's auction is a bit special. There must be some good items up for grabs, so there are more people than usual. Xiao De and the others weren't wearing masks. They weren't afraid of being recognized or stared at. Some other people were like them, but most chose to wear masks. The auction house recommended that patrons wear masks, but it wasn't required. Xiao Wu, in the crowd, Tang San, who was wearing a mask, spotted Xiao Wu, whom he thought about day and night. That's that kid, Xiao De. Dugu was standing next to Tang San, both of them were wearing masks.